VTuber pointing out misleading titles and clickbait titles about herself.
Hey, sorry for the serious video here, but I need to talk about some things that have been brought to my attention regarding some of the videos that I've been seeing pop up on YouTube nowadays. The clipping community, I think, is one of the most important parts of the streaming ecosystem, as many people don't have the time to watch their whole stream and like to see general highlights and clips of their favorite streamers when they have the time.
Best example of this is Queso. Look at Queso. Queso popped the fuck off because of those clips. Those clips were insane. Clips are really important. Absolutely.
In my case, getting clips from a few clippers back in the day really helped people find out about me. And those clippers ended up bringing a lot of really great viewers to my streams that I know are still around in my community today. The
That's
fans,
nice.
well, they...
Usually my clippers, they have the opposite effect.
I've never had a huge problem with clips because I've been fortunate enough to have really kind fans and respectful ones, and would delete clips or rename things if it was ever getting to a point that would make me feel uncomfortable in any way. But recently, there have been a numerous amount of these channels popping up that have been so incredibly...
Let me guess. Before we see them, it's sexual innuendo that is implied in the title with a suggestive thumbnail, and the clip isn't actually that.
Extremely misleading clickbaity videos that oftentimes have nothing to do with the actual content being shown.
Okay.
Here's just an example of one of the accounts that I've been seeing lately. This is...
How could anyone have predicted this?
The titles were so stupid and misleading and just completely untrue. Then we saw this one. And then we saw this one. And then we saw this one.
I need a boyfriend. I want to fuck. I like hards.
Very obviously uploaded with the intent to mislead viewers. I understand that a lot of people have a deep interest in a streamer's personal life for some reason, even though I'm pretty open about a lot, and despite that, people still want to know more about the sexual stuff or my actual personal relationship.
Well, of course they do. I mean, you like, the thing is that this is, we gotta get down. Let's just come to Jesus here about this, all right? People design VTuber avatars to be attractive to men. That's what it is. And there's a reason why this character has huge tits. And yeah, of course, obviously, this might be the girl's aesthetic decision as well. If you're a real life female, you don't really have as much control over your body appearance as you do if you create a VTuber. You could make yourself a demon. You could make yourself have huge tits or no tits, right? You could make your character look however you want. But the reason why people create characters that look this way is because they are the most appealing and they attract male viewers. And that is probably the majority of people that watch content like this is male viewers. I would assume it's probably over 90% male viewers. When you create content that's made to attract men through a sexual desire, you will have those people go too far. Now, it doesn't justify that behavior, and it's still bad to do. Now, these people are over the line. They're creepy and weird, 100%. And I'm not one of these, blaming the girls for it, or, oh, you shouldn't wear that. I'm not this kind of a guy. I think girls should be able to wear and do whatever they want. But you have to look at why this is happening. You can't go and say, I don't know why this is happening. It's obvious why this is happening.
Immediately, you can tell the subtitles are inaccurate in talking about balls, like a man's genitalia, and not the fact that I'm just drinking a buzz ball and alcoholic beverage during one of my streams. I said, bro, but the subtitles say, I feel him.
You know what's probably happening is that the person who's doing this is probably not a native English speaker, and they're just like, they are the strongest gooner in India, maybe. It's AI. Yeah, all this is done with AI. Because I think this is probably what's actually happening. I think that people are creating these channels and the entire thing is done with AI and it's created entirely to make money. Every single streamer girl that I know has obsessed weird stalker accounts. But what's happening now is that the obsessed weird stalker accounts are getting eclipsed by these AI generated accounts that create the clips, they create the videos, they create the subtitles, they do the editing, they add all of this in.
These are the comments under the video called Numi is trying to fuck Buff so hard. And of course, that's not at all what I'm talking about in the video. And then you look at the comments, in which part of these whole 4-minute clips does Numi try to fuck Buff Pup? This is such a clickbait. This is so clickbait. How are your subtitles so inaccurate? Maybe learn some English.
Well, hey, look at this. Let's look at the suggestions. Iron Mouse about dating struggles. Numi will never find a boyfriend. Only a female could do this. Saruki will milk you dry.
Generate the caption. It's AI generated crap. So this brings something else to the table.
Yeah, she's right.
Here.
She's smart.
All of these videos have the same kind of format. A very, very misleading title.
Yeah.
A very, very misleading thumbnail with the top having the same exact layout of text.
Yep.
Something extremely erotic. I like hard sex. I want to screw. I want sex. I love balls.
This sounds like the next clip.
you guys are free to clip that if you want.
Yeah, there you go.
Because at least this is something that I'm actually saying. Something that me and my mods and my team have found out is that, yes, a common theme on videos like this, from this channel, this channel, this channel, this channel, and this channel. We realized when we looked at the More button, there's the About page. And you'll find that if you go to the About page, on every single one of these
Pyre is
channels,
down bad.
even the one with no videos, they all share a similar AI-generated description about their profile and their page.
This is some random guy in some random European country, maybe some African country, and he is just farming. And yes, it's a guy.
And you sit here wondering to yourself, how is this kind of stuff allowed? Surely YouTube is going to be taking down this kind of content, right?
Yeah.
But then you go over and look at one of my friends' accounts and notice that their ASMR account has been taken down.
Like, the truth is that the reason why these videos are up is because these channels are fucking irrelevant. 3,000 views, this is like nothing. So the reason why that girl's channel got deleted is because a lot of people reported it. So if a lot of people report something, it'll get removed, and that's why this person has a bunch of channels lined up.
But this content in general is just overtly sexual and just untrue. One could argue that because I make offhand dirty comments on my stream, it would make sense for these videos to come up, which there's a difference between that and misleading viewers in such a harmful way with content that would lead viewers to believing something that isn't real.
The big issue with women being sexualized and sexualizing themselves, the big problem is that a lot of people don't understand the nuance that women want to be the one that controls when they are sexualized and when they're not sexualized. I don't think that women have a problem being sexy, but they do have a problem with people trying to make them look sexy when they're just trying to relax. And I don't know why this is such a big problem that a lot of people don't understand. I was taught never to touch somebody without their consent like that. Never do that. Like, never be aggressive like that. Like, always of course. Like, I don't know why people do this. And that's a huge issue.
I'm so fortunate with my community that most of them can look at these videos and know that this isn't true because they actually watch my videos. But then there are going to be these people that want to get to know me or want to get to know some other streamer that's getting put on the spotlight.
Here's what the problem is, and this is what happens with a lot of girl streamers. Because a lot of girls on Twitch have OnlyFans, it creates a community of people that ask girls to make OnlyFans. But what you're effectively asking somebody to do is to sell porn of themselves. And if you had asked somebody to do this at like a work environment or something, this would make them very uncomfortable. They create content that maybe sometimes every once in a while it's a little cutesy, maybe a little baity, a little showy. But for the most part, they just basically do their stream and that's it. But when you have clippers that are creating a community of gooners around them, what ends up happening is that those people come into that girl's stream expecting her to talk about hard sex, expecting her to talk about wanting to fuck. And then they start talking to her that way, and it probably makes her very uncomfortable.
As somebody that's been affected by this, that we can all come together and we can mass report these accounts. You can bring up a menu and you can report the image or the title.
Yeah, sure.
You can report it for sexual content or spam or misleading content.
I don't know why you guys are saying, no, I don't want to do this, doubt, like stupid and everything. Like, isn't it a bad thing that people are just making slop channels that are spamming posts that are fake about people? It's a tiny issue? I don't think so. I actually think that it's a very common issue, and I think it'll become worse every single year. But I think it also happens with other female streamers, and I think it will happen with more types of fan bases and more types of media as well, as generative AI gets better.
They're out there, they're good, they're great, they are not AI, without making you go, what? There's no way this is real, when most of the time, it isn't. Thank you guys, thanks for listening if you made it to the end of this, and let's do our best to make a beautiful community this 2025.
I think that there are going to be a lot of people who have like a negative perception of this video because they might not like the fact that this girl, you know, kind of, I mean, like her character is designed to be sexually appealing to men. People have taken comments or things that they've said on podcasts and then turned it into being like a extremely crazy sexual context with logos of like Steak or like Roobet or one of these other like gambling websites, profiting off of it, farming it. Like, I think that's really... It's kind of cringe, right? So when these girls have a person like this that comes onto their platform that comes from these clips and is expecting this girl to be a hoe or talk about dildos all the time or talk about sex all the time, and they start asking for that because that's what the clips have been posting. And I understand, again, that a lot of people, you know, are not very sympathetic to this for numerous different reasons. A little bit of compassion and a little bit of, you know, putting yourself in the shoes of another person, I think it will really help you understand why this is an issue. So yeah, that's the way that I feel about this. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be, you know, I think kind of negative towards her, but I completely support her, and I can totally see her point of view. And I think that it's a huge issue, and I think that honestly, this is the tip of the iceberg.